nail it down and give the A's their 100th win of the year.
This should be it. And Oakland wins it. Dennis Eckersley with his 44th save of the year. And Dave Stewart, for the second consecutive year, is a 20-game winner. Oakland wins its 100th game of the year, and it's become a season of numbers for this wildly successful Oakland A's ball club.
That was the week that was.
And so the final day of a banner regular season was pretty much a formality. A's owner Walter Haas Jr. threw out the first pitch, and everyone was looking ahead to the playoffs. But there were still some numbers in the picture. McGuire needed 2 RBIs to reach 100, and Eckersley needed 1 save for a Major League record 46.
I said to somebody else I was sitting with, I said, the worst thing that can happen here is for McGuire to get a base hit and get his 99th RBI, fall 1 short of 100, and yet take Eck out of the save situation.
Here's a pitch, curve liner right up the middle in the center field, a base hit. Blankenship being waved home by Lefevre. Here comes the throw to the plate. Not in time, and the A's lead it 4-0 as Mark McGuire gets his 99th run batted into the season.
It was only then that I realized that by getting that RBI, he had pushed the Brewer earned run average as a team high enough so that we ended up winning the ERA title. There were so many things going on that last week, so many records being set, so many team and individual goals, that it was almost as if you achieved one, you did it at the detriment of another, and they were coming so fast you couldn't keep track of them.
Well, both Mark and Dennis fell 1 short, but the A's went out on top.
Strike 3, swinging. The 88 season is all over for the Oakland A's except for the playoffs, and they'll be coming up soon. 104 victories for the A's this year.
The preseason promise of greatness had come to pass as the A's fashioned the best record in baseball and won their division with ease. And the incredible consistency of Canseco had done more than just etch his name in the record book. It had created a whole new page. The A's were the first American League West team to claim the best record in baseball since the '83 White Sox. The manager of that team, Tony La Russa.
Tony exhibits a lot of qualities that from a distance are very appealing. We felt, number one, that he had great leadership qualities. Players all had a great deal of respect for him. His opponents, I think, had a great deal of respect for him. He works hard. I know his players feel he's the best prepared manager of any they've ever been around. The bottom line is he's a great baseball man.
Perhaps La Russa's greatest attribute is his ability to motivate, to understand the psychology of today's players.
Tony La Russa has done an outstanding job in getting the maximum mileage out of all of us. I think, one of his favorite sayings is keep pushing, keep playing hard. Don't ever compromise your standard as an athlete to say, hey, I can coast today.
You know, it's funny. I really can't picture myself playing for another manager. He's a master of the game, and he never stops working. I'm sure he's going to be the manager of the year this year, and he's just a great manager.
In Boston, motivation was unnecessary as the curtain lifted on the American League Championship Series between the Red Sox and the Oakland A's. And the A's, as they had all year, would be counting on Jose's worthy bat.
This is the worth bat, quality bat. This is what I use.
Oh, you just get paid to say that.
Great wood, and plus I'm getting paid to say this. Like Mark said, great wood, great quality. It already comes from the factory, fully corked. It's an automatic 40 home runs. There's a cork right there. There's the work label. Everyone should use this bat. The cork. There's the cork. There's the cork, and there's some cork right there. But most of the cork is in there.
And as the scoreless first game moved into the fourth, with Boston's Bruce Hurst on the mound, Canseco showed just what his bat was worth.
3-2. Swing and a deep drive to left center field. Hit way, 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 way back.
tell it goodbye. It looked like he threw him a breaking ball, a fork ball or something down, and Canseco nails it into the screen.
Jose gave Oakland a 1-0 lead, and Stewart had the Red Sox reaching for answers. Dave proved most effective with runners on base, especially against Wade Boggs. Stewart left the game in the 7th, and Boston tied it at 1. But in the 8th, after Lansford doubled, Henderson brought him home with a sharp single to right. The A's now led 2-1, and La Russa knew just who to turn to. Eckersley breezed through the 8th, but in the 9th, Boston put 2 men on base and brought baseball's best hitter to the plate.
Here it is. He struck him out, and the A's win the ball game to take the lead in the series. The Red Sox got the man they wanted up there, and Eckersley got his man. Holy Toledo, what a finish.
Boggs had stranded 7 runners in the game as the Athletics refused to knuckle under. But Roger Clemens took the mound in Game 2, an encouraging sign for Boston fans, especially with a 2-run lead. But in the 7th, with 1 man on, Canseco once again passed the screen test.
Swing and a high, deep drive to left field. That one is way back, and I told you we'd be tied as Canseco hits one into the screen, and it's tied up at 2-2.
Canseco had hit his 2nd homer in as many postseason games. Now the Boston burden shifted to Big Lee Smith, who held his own until the 9th, when singles by Ron Hasse and Tony Phillips set the stage for light hitting Walt Weiss. Weiss's bloop single into center gave Oakland a come-from-behind 4-3 lead. Then in the bottom of the 9th, Eckersley reappeared and got him. 1-2-3.
Swung on, high drive, left field, room for Phillips. He has it, and the A's are out. They have swept the Red Sox the first 2 at Fenway Park, as Gitman's bid to go to left field is an out to Phillips.
So it was time to head back west, where the A's hoped to dispose of the Red Sox in rather rapid fashion. But before a packed house at Oakland Alameda Coliseum, the Red Sox big bats came to life. Against Welch, Boston scored 5 runs in just the first 2 innings and seemed primed to hand Oakland a demoralizing loss. But McGuire wasn't used to getting bashed and had his eyes on a comeback. He delivered in the bottom of the 2nd with a leadoff home run. 1 run later, it was the Red Sox who were on the defensive, and keeping them there was Carney Lansford.
Lansford swings, high drive, deep left field, it's going, home run, Lansford, holy Toledo.
1 inning later, Ron Hasse hit a 2-run homer to give the A's a 6-5 lead, and they never looked back. The A's were saved once again by Eckersley, who received some fine defensive support in the 9th from the likes of Stan Javier and Mark McGuire. 1 batter later, the A's had a 10-6 victory.
Wind up, pitch. He struck him out, and the A's win to go up 3-0.
Oakland fans were looking for a sweep, and a sweep is what they got, as Stewart tamed the Sox on 1 run through 7 innings in Game 4, and Canseco was once again on target. Jose hammered his 3rd home run of the playoffs to get the A's off and running. And although Canseco supplied the power, it came as no surprise that the playoff MVP was a savior by the name of Eckersley.
4-1, the A's lead. Top of the ninth, the one-strike pitch, swung on, fly ball, Gallego, he has it! He's have won a third swept. Listen to the crowd.